We got, as usual, our last topic of the week. Oh, actually, excuse me, it's our last topic of the year. We will not be recording tomorrow because it is New
Sure.
Year's. Sure, yeah. All right, Mario, are you ready?
Yeah, but before we start, I just want to wish everybody a happy new year since
Yeah,
this is going to be the
absolutely.
last topic.
Absolutely. With that said, we are ready to predict the first game. Give it to me. It's the Jets and the Patriots. Mario, you know what? Let's be a little fair this week. Let's waste our time with this game. Let's give you guys some insights real quick. I think this might be a bit of a decent game. The Patriots four combined receiving touchdowns by wide receivers and tight ends this season are the fewest in a single season since the 1981 Saints, which is excluding the strike-shortened seasons. The Jets will have the second overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. No surprise, they're good at screwing up their tanks. The Patriots are two and three versus AFC East opponents this season. New England has not finished below 500 versus divisional opponents since 2000, and the Jets are the first 0-13 team to win two straight games since the 2011 Colts. Um, Mario, I don't know, man. I cannot believe I'm doing this. Gods, please forgive me. I got the New York Jets winning the game. I really do. I think I do.
Nate, how dare you, man? How dare you? How dare you? How dare you, right? How dare you pick the same upset that I'm picking? I got the Jets winning too.
Oh wow!
Look, man, I
Yay!
gotta be honest with you. The past 2 weeks, you can't lie. Actually, the past few weeks, you can't lie. The Jets have been playing pretty good.
Mm.
Offensively, they've been a beast. And I mean, defensively, since getting rid of their defensive coordinator, they've been even better on defensively. So I gotta be real with you. They beat the Browns, bro. They beat the Rams. That's two playoff teams already, okay?
Mm.
The most struggling team in the NFL is the New England Patriots. Now, I'd be damned, okay, if they beat two playoff teams in a row and then they lose to the most struggling team in the NFL. I'd be damned. I got the Jets winning this game. I think they're going to win out the season. And you like to call it up their tank. I like to call it the Jets playing football. So, with that being said, this, man, come on, let's be real.
All right. That's a great one. That's a great one. All right. We got the next game on the list. Give it to me. It's yet another divisional game. It's the Falcons and the Buccaneers once again. I'll give you some insights real quick. Tom Brady is the first player in NFL history to play 20 plus seasons with a single team and then make the playoffs with a different team. I actually didn't even know that. The Buccaneers are 10-1 in games when Tom Brady has one or fewer interceptions this season, and they're 0-4 with 2+ interceptions. So you better hope he doesn't throw two interceptions. Tampa Bay is allowing the second most fantasy points per game to wide receivers since week 11. It probably doesn't matter at this point. And the Falcons have lost five of their last six games, and they won three of their previous four games. Tom Brady has never sat out for the entire game in week 17 of his career. That's a big deal too, and that's really it. I mean, the Bucks kept it. The Bucks had a big lead against the Bucks before, but they ended up blowing that lead. So I'm just gonna keep it real. I think I got the Buccaneers winning this game.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And this is a big game for me because I'm in the Super Bowl fantasy for my league. And yeah, the guy I'm going up against has two wide receivers for the Bucks, and I have Brady and Chris Godwin for the Bucks. So I really gotta. So this is a huge, huge game, and I mean I got the Bucks winning this too. But Chris Godwin, Tom Brady. Look, I know you ain't listening, but just in case that little small, small chance that you are, I need you guys to go off. So with that
All
being said,
right.
I got the Bucks too.
All right, we got our third divisional game in a row. Can you believe that? Give it to me. It's the Cowboys and the Giants. Some quick insights. The Giants have scored fewer than 20 points in 9 games this season, which is five straight. The Cowboys have scored 30 plus points in three straight games. Something that should have been doing all year. And by the way, all three of those games were wins. Joe Judge can join Jim Fassel from 1997 is the only Giants head coaches in the Super Bowl era to win a division title in their first season as the head coach. Dallas would be the eighth team since 1950 to make the playoffs with four-plus different quarterbacks making one or more starts. Mike McCarthy would be the second coach to do so in multiple seasons. The Giants have lost three straight games after leading the NFC East at 5-7 through 13 weeks. Can you believe that? And the last Cowboys head coach to make the playoffs in his first season with the team at with the team was Wade Phillips in 2007, and they won the NFC East. Okay, here's what's gonna happen. Cowboys gonna win this game, and here's why I need to win this game. They win this game, and Washington loses. They're in the playoffs. They clinch the NFC East, and then they're in the playoffs. First round exit, but who cares? I think that's what's gonna end up happening here.
I agree, man. Look. I mean, see, NFC East, it's been like an up and down roller coaster for every single team in that division. There was a week where there was like the first few weeks where one team was up and the other team was down. Then in the middle, every team started going down, and suddenly teams started going up. Then the Washington football team started getting a lot of hype because they beat the Steelers, and then all of a sudden they start going down as well. This Giants had hype, those wins that they had defensively, that hype's gone. Cowboys are starting to get a little bit of momentum. I think they're going to carry that momentum into this game. I think the Cowboys beat them.
Absolutely. And before I continue, I'm looking through the list. Every single one of these games is
Right. Yeah. The
I
last
just
week,
I just noticed that.
I believe every single last week of every year, it's usually division games.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I should have pointed that out before. But anyway, now you guys know. Next game, give it to me. It's the Ravens and the Bengals. Um, Let me give you some insights real quick. Only Patrick Mahomes has a higher win percentage as a starting quarterback than Lamar Jackson since 1970 with a minimum of 35 starts. The Ravens have a lot of top 20 fantasy wide receiver in 4 of their last 5 games. That could be important if you're in the fantasy Super Bowl, and you have someone on the Ravens or the Bengals or whatever. The Ravens are on pace to be the first team to average 170 plus rushing yards per game in consecutive seasons since Hall of Famer Walter Payton's Bears from 1983 to 1985. That's a big record to beat. The Bengals had 20 plus points in 2 straight games. Cincinnati had fewer than 20 points in each of their previous 5 games, which was the longest active streak in the NFL. And the Ravens won 4 straight games after losing 4 of their previous 5. Yeah, the Ravens need to win this game for the same exact reason the Cowboys are winning. Only they're not going to clinch their division. The Steelers already did that. They need to win because if the Dolphins lose, they're in the playoffs. But if they lose this game and the Dolphins win this game, their game against the Bills, they're in the playoffs. So I think I got the Ravens winning. I really think they need to win this too.
Look, before I give my prediction, I just want to take this opportunity to point out how great Walter Payton is. Let me explain something to you, man. Okay, just listen to this. Okay, the
Mm-hmm.
Ravens, that little insight that you gave, they could be the first team to have over 170 plus rushing yards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or they could be the first team, yeah, to have 2 consecutive seasons with 170 plus rushing yards a game, right? Since Walter Payton. Let me explain to
Right.
you. Walter Payton, right, did as much as the Baltimore Ravens' whole rushing team this year.
Right.
One player did as much as probably 4.
That's crazy.
That's just to point out how great Walter Payton was. And you know what? Rest in peace to him because he was such a great running back. But I just wanted to point that out. Now, my prediction, I got the Ravens win this game, but I do believe that the Miami Dolphins can pull an upset against Buffalo, which we will talk about when we get to that game. And I think Miami Dolphins will clinch the division, but I think the Ravens are going to give it a strong fight.
Right. Absolutely. Next game on the list, give it to me. It's the Steelers and the Browns. We got some insights. The Browns have not made the playoffs since 2002. Their 17-season playoff drought is tied for the second longest in the Super Bowl era. Excuse me. The Steelers are 35-7-1 versus the Browns since the 1999 season. That is the highest win percentage, excuse me, by any team versus any opponent with a minimum of 15 games. The Browns have not won a Week 17 game since 2009. They lost 10 straight. This is an important one for them. Mason Rudolph has more losses in 3 career starts versus Baker Mayfield, 0-3, including college, than Ben Roethlisberger does in 26 starts versus the Browns. That is crazy. And they're letting him start this game. Cleveland has lost 12 straight games to Pittsburgh in the final game of the season, the longest losing streak in NFL history versus a single opponent in a final game. And the Steelers have allowed 25 plus points in 3 games this season. It's tied for the fewest in the NFL. And the Browns are 7-0 when Baker Mayfield has a 100-plus passing rating this season. You know what? Because they pointed out, I thought Big Ben was going to start this game, but because they pointed out Mason Rudolph is starting this game, they're probably sitting Big Ben down because of the playoffs. I think the Chiefs did the same thing with Pat Mahomes. They usually do that. I got the Browns winning this game. It's that simple. I got the Browns winning. They need to win
Yeah,
this
I got
game
the
too.
Browns winning this game. Right, but you also got to realize the reason why they're sitting down Mason Rudolph is because they already clinched the division. There's nothing else that they can clinch.
Yeah, right. You
They're not
need
going to
Big
clinch
Ben
the
too.
one seed because the Chiefs already clinched that. So there's nothing else that the Steelers can do, you know? So they can't go down any more than what they are now. So with that being said, I got the Browns win this game too. And I think Baker Mayfield's going to have a nice bounce back game.
Absolutely. All right, we got the next game on the list. Give it to me. It's your Vikings and the Lions. Some insights. Adam Thielen is on pace to become the first player in NFL history with 15 plus reception, receiving touchdowns and fewer than 65 receiving yards per game in a single season. The Lions have allowed the most fantasy points per game to a quarterback since week 12. That probably doesn't matter to most teams. The Lions are the second team in NFL history to officially have 3 different coaches function as the team's head coach during the games in a single season. And the other team to do that was the 1941 Steelers. That's crazy. The Vikings have 23 plus points in 12 games this season, third most such games in a single season in team history. And the Vikings have not allowed a 100-yard receiver since week 7, and the only team in the NFL to accomplish that. Yeah, I got the Vikings winning this game. I did. I mean, both teams don't have anything to play for, but the Lions are just dead, I guess.
Yeah, I got the Vikings win this game too, but I mean, this is a tough prediction for me to make because I don't know if Mike Zimmer's going to necessarily sit down players since it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
Well, again, I'm not sure if Kirk's going to play. I'm not. I know Dalvin Cook's not playing, which is going to be a big factor. But I believe that whichever running back, I believe Alexander Madison is the second string. I believe he's questionable, which means if he doesn't play, it's going to go to Mike Boone. Let me tell you something. Mike Boone's a very good running back. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, don't he's a very very good running back. I remember last season our last game was against the Bears, and I think he had like 160 total yards on their ass.
Hmm. Right.
So I mean, like, so he's a very good running back. But I got the Vikings win this game, but again, I'm not sure who's starting this game or not. I assume everybody's going to start because everybody wants to play that one last game.
Right.
So that being said, I got the Vikings win this game.
Right. All right. We got the next game. Give it to me. It's the Dolphins and the Bills. We got you with 4 insights real quick. Tua Tagovailoa has 10 passing TDs and 2 interceptions this season, which is the second best ratio by a rookie in NFL history. The Bills have won 6 of their last 7 games. All 6 wins have been by 10 plus points. The Dolphins are 9-2 since week 5, and they started the season 1-3. And the Bills have scored 24 plus points in 8 straight games, which is the longest streak in franchise history. Look, man, as much as I want to see the Dolphins win this game, I don't know if that's what's going to happen here. I really don't. I really do want to see a Dolphins win this game just so they can make the playoffs and see how Tua does. But I don't know. I can't see it happen. I got the Bills winning this game, to be quite honest with you.
I got the Dolphins winning. The
Hmm.
reason why I have that happen is because I feel like if any team can beat the Bills right now, it's going to be a defensive team, and I believe that the Dolphins have a good enough defense to beat them. I believe that this is going to be a good matchup. It's going to be Byron. It's going to be, I believe, Xavier Howard versus Stephon Diggs, or Byron Jones versus Stephon Diggs, or Byron Jones versus Cole Beasley, or Xavier Howard versus Cole Beasley. Depending on how it might switch up a little bit. You know, I don't think you're going to see the same matchup I don't think you're going to see the same matchup for the whole game. Um, but I think that the Dolphins can win this game, and I believe that the Bills' defense is decent, right? But I don't think they're as good as the Dolphins' defense. And not only that, I believe Tua is a very accurate quarterback,
Right.
very accurate quarterback. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to say he necessarily
I
had like a
agree.
bad game against the Raiders because he kept them in that game, but he did have he had I think I think he had like a little tiny like a little like minor injury which kind of took him out, and then Fitzpatrick came in. I believe that's what happened. So if that's not the case, then somebody correct me in the comments. But I think that Tua's accuracy is going to be a big problem for Buffalo, and I think that the Miami Dolphins defense could definitely have a chance to shut down Stephon Diggs. But let me keep it real with you right here. If the Miami Dolphins defense does not shut down Diggs, I don't think there is a single defense in the NFL that can do it.
Absolutely.
But I got the Dolphins win this game.
I think that's going to be a very good game. Too bad it's on TV here. Anyway, next game on the list. Give it to me. It's the Saints and the
Yeah.
Panthers. Anyway, what's up?
Okay. I wanted to say something, but okay, Nate.
Okay, my bad. My bad.
I'm,
All right.
I just
Anyway,
want.
go on.
You're good. Good.
You sure?
Yeah, you're good.
All right. All right. The Saints and the Panthers is the next game. Some insights: the Panthers are 0-10 when allowing 22 points this season, or 5-0 when allowing 21 points or fewer. The Saints have 10 plus wins and 100 plus point differential this season. Each of the last 4 Super Bowl champions have had those same metrics. Eight of the Panthers' 10 losses this season have been by 1 possession. The Saints have scored 26 plus points in 9 straight games with Drew Brees at quarterback, and the Saints are 5-0 with a plus 69 point differential against division opponents this season. New Orleans has never finished the season undefeated versus their division. Wow, I did not know that. They actually have a chance to do that. All right, I'm gonna say the same thing like you did with Notre Dame. As an analytic, I got the Saints winning, but in my heart, I want the Panthers to just finish strong. I know we're not making the playoffs, but at least finish strong. It's the least you can do.
No, I absolutely agree. We at the Saints winning too, but I think it's very important that I think that those teams that are out of the playoffs, I think those are the ones you got to watch out for the most.
Yeah,
And
right.
another thing is, I believe the first round bye in the NFC, I don't think that's been clinched yet.
The NFC South, no, that's been. Oh, the NFC bye. Oh,
Not the
no,
NFC,
that has
the
not been.
NFC
That
in
has not been
general.
clinched yet.
So therefore, the Saints really got to play to get that win, and I think they're gonna play very well, and I think they're gonna win. But don't be surprised if Carolina makes this a tough game on them. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? I always say you gotta watch out for them like teams that don't have the best record, and the reason why I say that is because they ain't got nothing to fight for.
Yeah,
They got
right.
nothing to lose. So I got the Saints. I got the Saints win this game. But before we get off this topic, I'm a Kamara. I have you for fantasy, my guy. I need you to perform. Okay, you had nice little 56 points last week. Okay, have another 56 points this week. That's it. That's all I gotta
uh,
say.
okay. All right, we got the next game on the list. Give it to me. It's the Cardinals and the Rams. Inside real quick, the Rams are 7-0 with a plus 149 point differential versus the Cardinals since 2017, which is the best point diff in NFL versus one opponent in that span. The Cardinals last week, Cardinals last winning in Week 17 game was in 1998 versus the Chargers, and they won 16-3 and finished as a 6th seed in the NFC. The Rams defense has allowed 192.3 passing yards per game and 16 passing touchdowns this season, which is both the fewest in the NFL. So that defense is pretty good. The Cardinals have not made the playoffs since 2015, when obviously we know what happened there. Um, John Wolford will be the 25th quarterback to make his first career start in Week 17 since the NFL moved to a 16-game season in 1978. The previous 24 have a 5-19 record in such games. And the last one is 2016, Aaron Donald's 340 QB pressures are the most in the NFL among interior defensive linemen, which is the next closest player in that span with 207 pressures. Wow, that's incredible. Look, this game is crucial for both teams, because I think if one team beats the other, they make the playoffs, well, no matter what. I think that's how that goes, or something like that. But I'm gonna keep it real. As great as that Cardinals offense is, I don't think they're gonna get past that Rams defense. So give me the Rams to win this game.
I got the Cardinals win this game. I think that without Jared Goff and without Darrell Henderson, without and possibly without Cam Akers and without Cooper Cup, I believe that this offense is going to have a hard time going. You also got to remember too, though, the Cardinals have a decent defense themselves.
Hmm.
And so, I mean, the Cardinals might be without Kyler Murray this game. They're not necessarily sure yet. That's going to be a game time decision. But I still think even without Kyler Murray, I think that Kenyon Drake. I'd rather trust Kenyon Drake to have a big game than Cam Akers if he plays. If
Right.
not, then you got to rely on the string running back, and we don't even know who that is. But I put more on Kenyon Drake to win that game rather than the third string or second string running back
Right.
for the Rams. With that being said, I got the Cardinals win. I got the Cardinals win this game this week.
Right. Right. All right. We got the next game on the list. Give it to me. It's the Packers and the Bears. Insights: the Bears are 0-5 all time versus the Packers in Week 17. Chicago scored 14 points or fewer in 4 of the last 5 such games. The last time Chicago beat Green Bay in the final leg of the regular season was Week 16 in 1983. Green Bay's head coach was Hall of Famer Bart Starr, and Chicago head coach was Hall of Famer Mike Ditka. Since the bye week was reinstituted in 1990, no franchise has more wins with 23 or a higher win percentage at .767 than the Packers in Week 17 games. Only two teams since the 1970 merger has lost 6 straight games in the season and made the playoffs. Chicago lost 6 straight games from week 7 to week 13. That's something to look out for. This is the first meeting between Green Bay and the Bears since week 17 in 2006, where both teams enter with a 3+ game winning streak. And the last time that happened, Green Bay won 26-7. Aaron Rodgers is the first player in NFL history with a 40+ passing touchdowns and 5 or fewer interceptions in a single season. And the Bears have defeated one team with a winning record this season, which is Tampa Bay in Week 5. I look just like many other games that we said, this is a very important game for the Bears. Because if they win this and there are the other teams that they need to lose, they make the playoffs. But I really don't think that's going to happen here. I got the Packers winning this game.
Yeah, well, I'll start off with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, obviously, I think is going to be MVP this year. I think from what he did last year to what he did this year, I think it's remarkable how he just ended up becoming a whole different quarterback. He's been more aggressive. He has the same amount of interceptions as last year. And I think he's been doing it, or maybe like one more. And I think that's absolutely incredible. Chicago Bears. Here's the thing with the Chicago Bears. I believe this is false hope. Right. I believe this is false hope. And the reason why I say that is that stat you read. They only beat one team with a plus 500 record, and that is Tampa Bay. But here's the thing with Chicago. They had a dominant win against the Texans. They beat the Vikings, okay? But the Vikings ain't that great this year. They beat the Lions, I believe. Yeah, they beat the Lions, which the Lions ain't that great this year. And the Lions even beat them. So there's a lot of so now I'm gonna be honest with you. The Chicago Bears defense is getting questionable. And I think when you take a defense that is getting questionable against Aaron Rodgers, I think you can light that defense up. But it's gonna take the MVP Aaron Rodgers to beat the Chicago Bears defense. It's gonna take the primetime running back in Aaron Jones to beat the Chicago Bears defense. It's going to take the star wide receiver in Allen Robinson to beat the Chicago Bears defense. And I believe that those three guys are going to show up because remember, nobody's clinched that first round bye yet. And it looks like the Packers can do it. I think in order to do it, they got to beat the Bears. So with that being said, I think in must-win games, I trust Aaron Rodgers in the regular season. And I think the Packers are going to win this game.
Absolutely. We got the next game on the list. Give it to me. It's the Jaguars and the Colts. Before I get to the insights, just one interesting insight right here, right? The Jaguars beat the Colts in week 1, and then they lost 14 straight after that. Can you believe that? That's insane. Anyway, let's get to the insights. Philip Rivers is the only quarterback with 125+ career wins and fewer than 10 playoff seasons as a starter. Made playoffs in 6 of 14 full seasons as a starter. The Jaguars are averaging 329 total yards per game this season, which is the 7th fewest in the NFL. And the Colts has allowed 335.3 total yards per game, which is the fewest in a single season since 2008. The Jaguars are allowing 145.3 rushing yards per game this season, which is the third most in the NFL. And the Colts have made the playoffs once in their last 6 seasons in 2018. And the last one is the Jaguars have had 6 draft picks in the top 5 over the last 10 seasons, most in the NFL in that span. The next most with Cleveland with 4. You already know why I got the Colts winning this game, but it's not any of the ordinary game because just like a lot of teams on this list, like I said before, they need to win this game in order to secure a playoff spot. Remember, the AFC South has not been secured yet, and Tennessee hasn't secured a playoff spot either. Neither have the Colts. They need to win this game.
Right, I absolutely agree with you. And one thing you also got to remember too is if Baltimore and Miami loses, Colts could take that wild card if Tennessee clinches.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's a big important. So I mean, look, man, Jaguars got that 1-0 win against them in the first week of the season. It ain't happening again, I don't think. The Colts defense is too good. I think Philip Rivers is playing on an extremely high level. And one thing I want to point out though, I think this is going to be a Jonathan Taylor day, or even a Naheem Hines day. And I don't want it to be a Naheem Hines day because I'm going up against him in fantasy. I don't. But look, the stat that you read that the Jacksonville Jaguars allowed the 3rd most rushing yards per game, and the Colts might have one of the best rushing duos in the league. I think they're definitely a top 5 rushing duo in the league with Naheem Hines and Jonathan Taylor. I think that they can absolutely have a big night depending on which one it is. I hope it's Jonathan Taylor. I hope it's not Naheem Hines because, again, I'm going up against him in fantasy. But if it's Jonathan Taylor, the Colts can definitely take advantage of that running game. And if it's Jonathan Taylor, that makes me happy.
Right. I got him for fantasy, but it doesn't really matter because I'm playing for the seventh place round. But it's
Yeah,
whatever, I
7 points.
guess. All right. We got the next game on the list. Give it to me. It's the Seahawks and the 49ers. The 49ers are 1-6 when scoring 20 points or fewer this season. They were 5-3 when scoring 21 plus points. The Seahawks have allowed 17 points or fewer in 5 straight games, which is the longest streak since 2014. George Kittle is averaging 80.9 receiving yards per game this season, which is the second most among tight ends. According to Next Gen Stats, 49ers running backs had the second fastest average top speed as ball carriers this season at 13.25 miles an hour. I actually didn't even know that. That's a pretty interesting stat to have. And the last one is the Seahawks that made the Super Bowl in each season in which they won 11 plus games in the NFC West. Again, man, I got the Seahawks winning this game. But just like what you said with the Panthers and Saints game, I think the 49ers are going to keep it a little tough. Because even though they got nothing to play for, those are, like you said, those are the teams to watch out for, and I really think this is one of them. So yeah, give me the Seahawks to win this game.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I got the Seahawks win this game too. And I mean, with George Kittle coming back, that's definitely got to ignite a fire in the team. George Kittle obviously is a great tight end. And I remember his first injury that he got when he came back. I remember he had like 40, I think he had like 43 points on fantasy, and he had like, I think 9 receptions for like 180 something yards, something ridiculous like that. So, I mean, I'm just saying they got to watch out for George Kittle, because if George Kittle ends up having a night, it could ruin Seahawks. It could be Seahawks already clinched their division, but it could ruin their night.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
it could also kind of, demote the confidence of the Seahawks team, especially that defense. So I got the Seahawks winning, but I think this is going to be a good game.
Absolutely. We got the next game on the list. Give it to me. It's the Titans and the Texans. Some insights. Derrick Henry has rushed for 200 plus yards in each of his last 2 games versus the Texans. Henry has averaged 105 career rushing yards a game in Week 17, which is the sixth most in NFL history. The Texans have won 7 of their last 8 home games versus the Titans. 6 of the 10 Titans wins this season have been versus teams currently below 500. 4 of their 5 losses have been versus teams with 10 plus wins. Excuse me, real quick. The Titans are allowing 26.7 points per game this season, the most among 15 teams with a sub 500 with a 500 record or better. Excuse me, not sub 500. This is the seventh game since 1990 between two QBs ranked top 5 in passer rating in Week 17. The quarterback with the higher passer rating has won 5 of the previous 6 games. I'm pretty sure it's Deshaun Watson you're talking about. And Ryan Tannehill was 4-0 with the Titans following a game with a sub 90 passing rating, and he had a 40.5 rating last week at Green Bay. Same deal with the Colts and Jaguars game. The Titans need to win this game because if Colts lose and the Titans win, they secure that AFC South, and I think they really need to win here, and I think they will, despite Deshaun Watson being an absolute beast. I think the Titans have more than the the Texans, to be quite honest with you. So give me the Titans, man. They need to win this game.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. I got the Titans winning too. I think this could be a very good offensive game. You know what I'm saying? I think Deshaun Watson can get his offense going, and I do feel bad for Deshaun Watson. He lost his star wide receiver in off season. He lost Will Fuller in the middle of the season when Will Fuller got busted for PEDs. I mean, a lot of bad things have been happening to the Texans, and then you got the defense; they haven't really been performing, despite JJ Watt being a good player. And I mean, I gotta be real with you. I got the Titans win this game. I think Derrick Henry can have a nice day against them. I think Deshaun Watson can have a nice day against that Titans defense. I'm gonna be real with you, man. But but I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I think Titans have to fight for here. And I did say you got to watch out for the teams that don't have anything because they got nothing to lose, and that is absolutely true. But I believe that the Titans, and especially Derrick Henry, have a fighting spirit, and I believe that they can win this game.
Absolutely. We got the next game on the list. Give it to me. It is the Raiders and the Broncos. Of course, we got these insights. The Broncos have won 5 straight Week 17 games versus the Raiders. Excuse me. And the Broncos have a plus 75 point differential in Week 17 games versus the Raiders since 1995. The Raiders are allowing 29.8 points per game this season, the most allowed by a John Gruden coached Raiders team in franchise history. Remember, this is the second time he's coaching this team. The Broncos have missed the playoffs in 5 straight seasons since winning Super Bowl 50, which is the longest streak since 2006 2010. The Raiders are 1-5 since week 11. They started. They were 4-1 from weeks 5 and 10. I'm pretty sure they started the season like 6-2 or something like that, 6-3 or something like that. And the last one is Melvin Gordon is the only player in the NFL with eight rushing TDs in each of his last 5 seasons. This is just a game where they basically team doesn't have any. Both teams have nothing to play for. But I think it's going to give a glorious send off. But you know what? I think I got the Raiders winning this game, to be honest. By a very close score.
Look, man, this is an upset. I got my boy Rap Master Drew Lock. Okay, you understand me? I got confidence in Drew Lock over there to be spitting. Okay, he's gonna be throwing dimes, and he's gonna be spitting change on the sideline. Let me tell you something, because hey, Drew Lock a good player, bro. I know we jokes on Drew Lock because he likes to rap on the sideline and everything. Don't get me wrong, but he is a decent. I think he could be a very good quarterback in this league if he kind of cleans up some minor flaws in his game. And I think that the Broncos have a good enough defense to shut down the Raiders. I don't think the Raiders have been that great. It's the key though to shutting down the Raiders. I believe it's going to be Darren Waller.
Right.
And I think the second key is Josh Jacobs.
Absolutely.
I think those two have been having a great game, and I think that if you can shut them down, I think that you can have a lot of success beating the Raiders. But let me tell you something, my boy Drew Lock, I'm rooting for you, man. I'm telling you, I like Drew Lock.
I like Drew Lock too. Shout out to Drew Lock. Anyway, hey, make a record for us, by the way. Anyway, we got the next game on the list. Give it to me. It's the Chargers and the Chiefs. Obviously, the coach got you some insights. The Chiefs have won 7 straight games by 6 or fewer points, which is the longest such streak in the NFL history. The Chargers have won 3 straight games, 3 total wins from weeks 1 to 13. Excuse me. The Chargers have won 3 straight games by 3 points. The Chargers were 1-3 at games decided by 3 points in weeks 1 through 13. The Chiefs are the 8th defending Super Bowl champions to win 14 plus games. 3 of the previous 7 such teams repeated as Super Bowl champions, so keep that in mind. And Justin Herbert is one of 2 quarterbacks since 1950 to pass for 4,000 plus yards in their first 14 career starts. And the only one to do that is Patrick Mahomes. I got the Chiefs winning this game despite them sitting Patrick Mahomes for the playoffs. But I'm gonna keep it real with you, man. Justin Herbert's gonna play with heart. Because remember, he's still like we said before. Not only the Chargers have nothing left to play for, but Justin Herbert. This is a different one here. Justin Herbert's fighting for the Rookie of the Year, and I don't think he's gonna make it easy on the Chiefs. And the Chiefs' offense really hasn't been playing that great for these last few weeks. You really look at it. You and me pointed out earlier this week that the Bills' defense, in our opinion, has been playing better than the Chiefs' offense. I think I said the Bills' defense. I meant to say the Bills' offense. My bad. But yeah. Despite all that, I still got the Chiefs winning, but I really think Justin Herbert's going to give him a very hard time.
No, I agree with you. I got the Chiefs winning this game, and I think Justin Herbert's going to have a very big game. But one thing I want to point to, I believe the backup quarterback for the Chiefs is Matt Moore. And last time Matt Moore played, I hate talking about my team, but the last time I remember him officially starting, it was against the Vikings, and he actually beat my team. Right. He actually beat them, and I think that was last year. Last year, I think he beat my team. And last year, the Vikings were a playoff team. So Matt Moore had a great game that game. I think that he could definitely repeat that. I think Matt Moore has a chance to have a great game this last week. And I think the Chiefs come out with a win.
Absolutely. And the final game on this list is Sunday Night Football. Give it to me. It is the football team and the Eagles. Some quick insights real quick. The football team has allowed 20 points or fewer in 6 straight games, which is the longest active streak in the NFL. The Eagles have won 6 of their last 7 games versus the football team and won 3 straight home games. The football team is 4-1 in games with Alex Smith as the starting quarterback this season, and they're 2-8 with all others. I'm not sure if Alex Smith is starting tonight. I could be wrong about that. The football team become the 3rd team in NFL history to make the playoffs with a win percentage below 500, excluding the 1982 strike season. Rookie starting QBs are 7-14 versus Ron Rivera in his career. That's obviously, of course, referring to Jalen Hurts. And the last one is Terry McLaurin has averaged 105.3 receiving yards per game in 3 career games versus the Eagles. Um, it's the same as that thing with the Cowboys and the Giants. The football team needs to win this game because if they win this game and the Cowboys lose, they make the playoffs and vice versa. But unlike the Cowboys and the Giants, it's going to be. I think it's going to be very, very different. Obviously, I'm pretty sure Alex Smith isn't playing this game. I could be wrong. You could correct me. And they just obviously cut Dwayne Haskins just recently, which I wasn't serving him any justice. Um, I'll say this, all right. I got the Eagles winning, but that is only if Alex Smith doesn't start. You can correct me if I'm wrong there. I'm pretty sure he's out for this week. But if he does start, I got the football team winning.
Yeah, I believe that their starting quarterback might be, I want to say Brandon Allen.
Yeah, so then
I want
I got the Eagles winning then.
I want to double check. I want to double
Yeah.
check
Let me
because I'm not too sure. But who the starting quarterback for Washington? I still got the Eagles winning.
yeah,
You
me
know,
too.
I think Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts has been playing has had a very great season for as short time that he's played. I think he's been having a very great season, and I think Jalen Hurts has been balling out on all cylinders. And I mean, even with tough teams like the Cardinals with Kyler Murray, he's shown and he's proven that he can hang with the best of them. So with that being said, I think I got the Eagles winning despite who Washington starts at quarterback, whether it's Alex Smith, whether it's Allen, whether it would have been Dwayne Haskins, it doesn't matter.
Right,
And the Washington football team does have a good defense, but let me tell you something. I think that if Jalen Hurts has one of his nights, I don't think that's going to matter.
right, absolutely.
So, so for the last game for Sunday Night Football, I got the Philadelphia Eagles winning, and in my prediction, I think the Cowboys will slip into the playoffs.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And just a quick reminder, all of these games are division games, and all of these games are being played on Sunday. There is no Monday night game, there's no Thursday night game. This is the final week. When the NFL playoffs roll on, we got you with the coverage. So make sure you guys go crazy. And before I end this video, I just want to give a quick shout out to all you guys out there. Thank you for supporting us this year. Thank you for shouting us out and all of that. It's been a very rough year for everybody in the world. With this damn pandemic going on and everything else going on in the world. It's been a very difficult year, and we've all made it out alive. Thankfully. Happy New Year to all you guys. I hope your next year is filled with fortune and glory. And stay safe out there and be easy on the drinks, please.
Yeah, I just want to hang on before you end the video. Again, I just want to wish everybody a happy new year. Absolutely. Again, like you said, it's been a crazy year. With the pandemic and everything that's happened, especially with injustice going on in the world and all these types of problems. I just hope 2021 could be better. I'm wishing you guys a happy new year. And one more thing. So before we leave, I got the Allens mixed up. So for the Washington football team, it's Kyle Allen, not
Okay.
Brandon. So Kyle Allen might be starting for the Washington football team. I just wanted to clarify that before we go off air. But with that being said, everybody have a happy new year.
Have a happy new year, everybody, and stay easy on the drinks, please.